Alright, buckle up chess fans, because we're about to dive into a lightning-fast game from live chess, played on linkedtochess.com. This promises to be a quick and exciting affair, with both players eager to establish their presence on the board. 1. Throw 4. White opens with the English opening, a flexible and often aggressive choice. It immediately controls the d5 square, and prepares for a fianchetto of the king's bishop, or further pawn advances in the center. A solid start. 1. d6. Black responds with an unassuming pawn push. This move supports the e5 square and clears the path for the queen's bishop, but it's a relatively passive response to White's initial thrust. 2. e4. White continues to assert central control, building a strong pawn duo in the center. This is a very common and effective follow-up to c4, immediately staking a claim in the heart of the board. 2. c6. Black plays c6, a common move in many openings, often preparing for a d5 push. Here it also reinforces the d5 square and perhaps hints at a Slav-like setup later. 3. 4. Oh, an aggressive move from White. This move immediately sets up a King's Indian attack type of structure. White is looking to create a strong pawn center and potential attacking chances on the king side. This is a bold choice so early in the game. 3. f6. Black counters with f6. This move supports the e5 square and tries to prevent White's e5 push, but it also weakens the king side slightly by taking away a defender from g6. It's a double-edged sword. 4. White solidifies their strong central pawn presence. Now they have a fantastic pawn trio on c4, d4, and e4, controlling a vast amount of central territory. White is clearly aiming for a commanding position. 4. h6. Black makes a prophylactic move with h6, perhaps intending to prevent a bishop or knight coming to g5, or to create an escape square for the king if needed. While not directly influencing the center, it's a useful safety measure. 5. c3. White brings out a knight, developing a piece and adding more control to the d5 and e4 squares. This is standard developing play, preparing to castle and bring more pieces into the game. 5. q7. Black develops the queen to d7. This move connects the rooks and eyes the d-file, but the queen on d7 can sometimes be a bit passive, especially if the d-file isn't opened up soon. 6. f3. Another excellent developing move from White. The knight on f3 is ideally placed, controlling central squares and preparing for kingside castling. White's development is flowing smoothly. 6. qe6. Black brings the queen to e6. This move does eye the e4 pawn, but it also places the queen in a somewhat exposed position early in the game. It's a bit unusual to see the queen venture so far out this early. 7. b3. White develops the bishop to a strong diagonal, eyeing Black's kingside and putting pressure on the e4-e6 diagonal. This bishop will be a powerful piece if White can open lines for it. 7. na6. Black develops the knight to a 6. This is a very passive square for the knight, and it doesn't contribute much to central control or immediate threats. It looks like Black is aiming to reroute the knight to c7 or b4, but it's a slow development. 8. b3. White develops another piece, the light-squared bishop, reinforcing the center and preparing for castling. White's pieces are coming into play very efficiently. 8. b4. Black's knight jumps to b4, attacking the c2 pawn and eyeing the d3 bishop. This is a much more active square for the knight, creating some tactical possibilities for Black. 9. White calmly castles kingside, getting the king to safety and bringing the rook into the game, a crucial step in consolidating the position. White is not concerned about the knight on b4 for now. 9. xd3. Black decides to exchange the knight for White's well-placed bishop on d3. This eliminates a strong attacking piece for White, but also gives White a pawn on d3, opening the d-file. 10. q xd3. White recaptures with the queen, bringing it into a central position and maintaining pressure. The queen is now very active and can participate in attacks on both sides of the board. 10. b5. Black tries to create some counterplay on the queen side with a pawn push. This aims to disrupt White's pawn structure and open lines for Black's pieces. 11. c5. White responds by pushing the c-pawn, creating a passed pawn and opening up the d-file even further. This creates a strong pawn wedge and restricts Black's queenside. 11. d xc5. Black captures the pawn, opening up the d-file and preparing to challenge White's central control. 12. t5. White pushes the d-pawn, creating a powerful passed pawn and opening up the position even more. This move is very aggressive and aims to create immediate threats. 12. C xd5. Black captures the pawn, opening up the d-file even further and potentially allowing white's pieces to pour in. 13. N xd5. White recaptures with the knight, attacking black's queen and creating a very dangerous outpost on d5. This knight is a major threat, well placed in the heart of black's territory. 13. Ba6. Black moves the bishop to a6, trying to defend the b7 pawn and perhaps eyeing the long diagonal. However, this move doesn't address the immediate threat from white's knight. 14. nc7 plus, and there it is. White's knight on d5 jumps to c7, a devastating fork, attacking both the king and the queen. This is a classic tactical motif and a crushing blow. 14. kf7. Black is forced to move the king, losing the queen. There's no other legal move. 15. nxe6. White captures the queen, now with a massive material advantage. The game is effectively over. 15. Cat c6. Black recaptures the knight, but it's too little, too late. 16. q5 hash, and with a flourish, white delivers a beautiful checkmate. The queen on d5, supported by the pawn on e4, delivers the final blow. Black's king has no escape squares. 1-0. What a game! White played with incredible aggression and precision, building a strong central position and then unleashing a series of powerful tactical blows. Black struggled to develop effectively and fell victim to White's well-calculated attacks. A textbook example of how to convert a central advantage into a decisive win.